Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid, and we are nearing the end of our saga with Lord of the Flies. We are playing Lemuria, and it is turn 100. So celebrate. We're now in triple digits, and not many more to go. I think we probably have just a couple episodes to go. I actually ended up staling the past turn. I did it, but I think I didn't submit it in time. So anyway, I was talking about all the orders I would do, but whatever, I didn't do them. So we'll see how bad it is. Anyway, good timing. We get a message from Midguard saying, okay, I guess it's time I start doing something. I hereby end our nap. Since you received this message on turn 100, attack orders on turn 103. Good luck. I send a message back to him saying, 103 is then, God help me from masked storm demons. Indeed, may God help me. And then I send a message to Utgard, who's been a huge champ just staying in the game. It'd be really frustrating being Utgard too and fighting me when I'm obviously taking over the world, and Midgard just sitting there not attacking me. And then I tell him, because, I just want to kind of encourage him. And anyway, well, Midgard's attacking, so perhaps salvation is at hand. I'll let you know if he's beelining it for my thrones or if he's generally trying to take me out. I mean, we're not... It's very unlikely Utgard can win at this point. I mean, his lands have basically been destroyed, but, it'll at least let him know if Utgard is going to... if Midgard's going to potentially take one of his thrones. We cast... I forget what you call it. The Gift of Reason on Belphegor, and we were attacked by a Mindstorm Heart and we won. So this is probably the first time the Lich Queen has seen the light of day in a long time, where she wakes up from a night and is not in some kind of immortal slumber waiting to respawn. So that's very nice. Coming down, we get a bunch of dudes assassinated. This guy permanently killed... Well, okay, it was just a Centurion, but he's dead now. Ryla's Pretender is moving over this way, so this was not a province I expected. So he's just attacking my... Yeah, he dies. So it's kind of weird, because he moved here. Okay, he moved here, and now I don't know where he's going to... But it's not showing his Pretender. It just shows... The firstborn, who is his Pretender, is not showing here, so I don't really know what happened, but he should be here. Okay, that was this one. More raiding. Let's see if there's any important battles. No, just raiding. And actually, because my turn staled, I'm not really gaining any territory, so I kind of take this one on the back foot here. Oh, this actually is why we don't see him. Look at this. I didn't even notice this in the actual game. I remember being like, where the hell is this Pretender? I was looking for him turns after this. Well... That's what happened to him. So, rip Ryla's Pretender. He got totally just sniped by an ice elemental. We kill a Jotun Jode, we kill a cultist, we kill his Pretender. The Sith Kona are getting wrecked. A scout. Mound King, and lots of Sith Kona. So... all in all, doing some work for me. We got a Necromancer, which is nice. Okay, so that is that. We're going to kind of go through these again kind of quickly. This one we've been sieging, but we haven't broken it, so we will siege it another turn. I'm almost certain this next turn we'll be able to break through it. This fort we have broken through, so we are going to storm it, actually. And I have the right things here, so we're going to do Army of Gold. Mass Flight, there's a very low chance I lose this, because with Mass Flight, we'll be able to kill whatever he has in the back line. Do I fix this? No, not really. This should be okay. Does this guy have what? Okay. We're also moving in more troops here, and I'm moving in one of these enchanters, which you get from a site called Moonvine Circle. And he's going to be doing Power of the Spheres and Mass Protection on top of all these guys, and I'm not really worried about fire magic, so these guys will be quite tough, and they'll definitely be able to deal with any light raiders, or even kind of like a medium response. We should be pretty good against that. And then the thought is the next turn I'll probably be able to storm this fort, and this will hopefully set me up to take this very, very shortly thereafter. Now, we only have a few turns until Midguard attacks. I've got like 3 turns, so hopefully I can get another fort or 2. This fort is also broken now too, so we are going to jump inside here, and hopefully we take this from Ryla. The script, Rigor Mortis, and Stygian Reigns. Hopefully that will work. We're going to continue raiding here. And you can see Utgard just has a massive amount of troops here. So a lot of important battles coming up this next turn. We're going to be taking this throne, which will put us one step closer to victory. We're going to be breaking siege here with some of this stuff. I think this is we're doing Swarm, Hold, Mass Protection. And this Mass Protection will hopefully get 2 of the swarms and then all my ghosts. And that should be enough to kill these guys. We're also moving in a lot of dudes here. Power of the Spheres, Wailing Winds, Rigor Mortis, Grip of Winter. If I was paying more attention, I'd put these guys with some kind of script. Probably like Hold and Attack. So I didn't do any of that. That's probably how I do it. But we're going to be moving in more guys here. The nice thing about him ending his nap and it taking some time is basically I get to prepare fully. So it's kind of like call everybody into my thrones. So I've got a ton of dudes in here now. I've got about 500. I'll probably start to move some of these guys here. I don't want this fort to look totally empty. But I've got a lot of dudes here in this province as well. Where is my dude I have getting ready to do Tart Spam? Okay, we're going to do one more empowerment here in Death. We have Ritual returning on this guy too, so probably next turn I will be able to start doing Tart Summoning. And Tartarians are actually not that hard to get up during Astral Corruption. They're only 10 gems, so it's very unlikely I'm going to get a Doom Horror from that. So with the right set of gear, there's a good chance this guy is not going to die while Tart Summoning. Who do I have here? Okay, we are going to get a Wraith Lord, and I had mentioned that before. We're going to get a Wraith Lord because he is much more efficient at summoning Tartarians and things like that. I mean, not Tartarians, but summoning my Grand Lemurs, because he will respawn after 1 turn. And I think that's it. We're going to go ahead and steam forward. What turn are we on? 100. Of course. We're going to go ahead and go to 101. And hopefully I've got some good battles for you on 101. But really, I think the next episode is going to be awesome, where we see okay, Lich Queen gets attacked by Eater of Dreams, but it looks like she survives, because she is a boss. Okay, there we go. Eater of Dreams hit me, and then I zapped home, which is quite nice. She cast the Gift of Reason. Oh, I think I had cast Gift of Reason before, but it didn't... Like, I said I was casting it before, but it didn't actually go because, you know, anyway. But we've done it, so we now have Belphegor, Lord of Hell. And he's got a Ring of Returning on, and he's going to forge himself a Flame Helmet, so he can cast some fun things like Flamestorm, which will be really another great way to kill little pesky human mages. Wait, did we not? Oh no, we stormed here, so let's watch this battle. Actually, we'll just do it through the normal thing. Okay, these guys get wrecked. Ryla attacks us here. We'll watch this in Abyssia. So, we are ready to storm the fort in Abyssia, and he goes and attacks me. Now, this is a unit we haven't really seen yet in the game, and this is one of the units that's unique to Ryla. It's a Void Spectre. And these are one of the things that make Ryla terrifying in the late game. And they have a spell that only this particular unit can cast, not just Ryla, but this unit can cast. So you have to have this unit, and it will basically summon you to another dimension, into the void, and you will have a duel with this guy, and you're going to have a huge penalty to your stats, and then he's going to get to script, and you won't, because you never get to script yourself defensively in an assassination. And you basically get wrecked by this guy. So it's a remote spell, so you cast it on a distant province. And yeah, it's one of the things that makes Ryla really, really strong in the late game when you have a few of these guys out spamming it. The problem, though, is it cannot target undead. Kind of, I think the idea being they don't have minds or something, so they're not going to be summoned to the void. Even though some of my guys aren't mindless. Anyway, it can't target my undead dudes, so he can't use it. He would have loved to do it on my Grand Lemurs, because it would summon them, to some other dimension and then kill them, and they would die permanently. So if you have other types of immortals, it's a great way to kill them, but not against undead immortals. So you haven't really seen it, but and that way you haven't really seen the way L.A. Ryla's supposed to play, because this guy is supposed to be a real force for them. But it just isn't efficient or effective against Lemuria. Okay, and he's attacking me. He's got a fair amount of astral spam. He's got a fair amount of vampires. Okay, but we have... that water elemental is doing a lot of work. And I think I have... what did he cast? Astral Tempest. Okay, yeah, Astral Tempest does a lot of work. So it looks like this guy cast Astral Tempest. And that's basically going to cause all sorts of things to just come and smack everything that's alive on the battlefield. Now, why... this guy's mindless. It should just kind of die. Oh, but I guess we got a Vampire Lord. Oh no, we still had a Grand Lemur. Okay, so we won. So let's check that out. Those was Ryla? Okay, so we killed the Void Spectre and all these guys. We lost almost everything, but we got a Vampire Lord, so that guy's dead for good. Not really worth... I mean, we could potentially... Gift of Reason, it might be worth it. But we're not really interested in the Blood Paths. We're only really interested in the Death Paths. But I actually have some Blood Slaves. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to Gift of Reason him, and then I could use him as part of communions and things like that. I don't know if I'm going to have time to this game. Okay, that was here in Abyssia. Okay, we get wrecked by a Lich. Man attacks us. Ryla's little immortal thugs are killing us. We get attacked by Ryla here. We kill a bunch of his chaff, so this actually is a pretty good trade for us. That was this one, yeah. It's not a bad trade. We have a little group get killed by Ryla. Just going through, seeing if we've got any big battles here. This was a pretty big group. Where is that? It's on the woodlands? Where's the woodlands? Okay, right here. So he did move an army in to take this. I had sent a little raiding squad on top of that throne, but he's not ready to give it to me. But he doesn't really want to position a ton of dudes on top of it. He has a bunch of Sethkona here, so they could potentially get assassinated this turn, so we'll see if that happens. This actually is pretty good for us too. We kill another big swath of Ryland chaff, so can't complain about that. It does appear we lose the battle, but that's fine. We kill a bunch of his chaff. Okay, we've got a big battle here with Midguard. So I believe this is inside one of his forts. Oh no, it's right outside of it. But this is one of the forts we're trying to take. And this is mostly a chaff army, but we just did mass protection. And mass protection is going to do a lot here, because he doesn't have a lot of mage support. So you can see we're able to rout his army, and then we're able to get to the mages, and that is that. So that is mass protection. Kind of doing its job there. Killed everything. And then in Fukan, we have a big battle. And it's really amazing that, I guess he's kind of been winning a lot of these fights, but it's kind of amazing he keeps having these big armies after fighting me for so long. So let's see what he puts up. Okay, so let's take a pause real quick. Relief and Light of the Northern Star. I think Light of the Northern Star is mine. On my side, let's see what my dudes are casting. They're basically just buffing. Just a mix of Enslaved Mind and Protection of the Sepulchre. It looks like I'm going to lose this. But we're causing a lot of his dudes to rout. Or no, we're not, are we? Yeah, okay. The armies of Lemuria run away again. And yeah, we suffer a pretty solid defeat here. But we put a dent in his chaff horde. So we're just grinding him down. And I think the other thing is this has my... Does this have my Dominion? I think it does. So deploying a big army here, there's a good chance they're going to get attacked by ice elementals that we'll see below. We have a few battles. So this is in the Fortress of Abyssia. Now this is going to be tricky because I don't have much here. I just have this one Grand Lemur. But he has enough to cast Rigor Mortis, and he's going to run in. And he's got Invulnerability cast, so there's a strong chance he wins. This water elemental he's got is going to do a fair amount of work. Yeah, it gets back there and kills them, and then all we have is a little bit of PD, and the Raised Dead will do it. So he actually wins that, which is, if you think about it, kind of crazy. We barely won this fort outside of Abyssia. I'll go back up and just flash up the battle report. Like, almost everything we had died. And what didn't die kind of retreated, and we just had this one Grand Lemur, and then coming down here, this one guy storms the fort by himself. And he's not set up like a thug or anything. He was just a caster. So anyway, it's kind of rare that you see something like that. But fortunately, we take Abyssia, so that's pretty nice. There is a battle in the encircled swamp, and we capture that fortress too. Is that worth watching? Not really. And there's a battle here in the Fortress of Summer Ridge. So, let's go check these out. So this is the Throne Province. So this gives us the Throne of Zeal, which is not going to be very useful for us, except that it's a throne. So we're going to go ahead and claim it. We're going to claim it with this guy. And we're going to build a temple here also and get our Dominion pumping out as fast as we possibly can. What were the other... forts we got? We got the at Summer Edge, which is this one. I think that was just a little chaff that we sent in there. And the other one we actually had to fight for was Abyssia, of course. So we got 3 more forts this turn. We got this one, and this one. So that is very, very nice, and we will be trying to put temples up in all of them. We got a temple going up here, and a temple going up here. And that's kind of drained all our little money that we've managed to accumulate. This actually is a nice income province too, so we definitely appreciate that. This fort is popped, so we're going to go ahead and storm it. His army already kind of attacked me, and I don't have long. It's turn 101. I'm going to get attacked, not next turn, but the turn after. So, better go ahead and make our move here. We're going to storm that castle before Midguard attacks me. And then we're going to send in another squad with this guy, who can do Army of Lead on top of this, and hopefully that will allow us to take this throne. These guys are going to be storming this castle finally. It took us forever to break, but pretty important because we can get crystal mages in here, which is really, really nice. These are some of the better mages in the game. Earth Astral is a great, great, great cross path. So, very, very nice. Do we have... I'm trying to see. Okay, we've got an air mage here. I'm not really forging any other air stuff. And we definitely haven't built any more of these Sorcerer of the Sands. But you can see, now it's kind of a problem. Ryla's raiding and locking all these forts up. This is a little too much. So, we're going to go ahead and kit these guys out and have them go and attack. And basically, we've got Army of Lead coming in. We're going to have this guy doing Power of Spheres, Rigor Mortis, and Enslaved Mind. Because in conjunction we have Light of the Northern Star going up. That will deal with, like, Father Ill-Earth if he pops up, hopefully. And then we've got this guy who's kind of a little thuggy, who's going to run and maybe kill people, maybe die. We'll see. So kind of just... We don't have... What are the spells we have going off? Okay, we do have Rigor Mortis too. As I was going to say, don't remember seeing any of the death spells. We don't have Darkness or anything fancy, but Darkness isn't really great against Ryla anyway. So those are the big things. We're going to be storming here. We're going to be storming here. We're going to be moving in a big army here. We really need to get more air mages to make more shock stuff to prepare ourselves for getting attacked by Midguard. We are also awakening a Tree Lord. Now, this is something I probably should have done a while ago, because I used her to do all of my nature stuff. Now, some of the nature stuff I needed her to do, like go underwater and cast all of the living castles so that this becomes, solidly my land. But other nature stuff I probably didn't need her to do, and Awakened Tree Lord is great during Astral Corruption, because these guys have a ton of HP, you'll see next turn. With that, I can give them a Ring of Returning, and I'm basically guaranteed to get off nature spells without having them die. The cool thing about this is you can target this spell on any forest, and it's a remote summon of a mage. They're immobile once you summon them, but I'll just show you. It's an enchantment spell. Here we are. Awaken Tree Lord. So the Mercs, I think that was where I was going to cast it. Right here. And then from that, he'll be able to kind of do a bunch of things. So, he can do Gift of Reason for me and things like that. Which is going to be very important with my little tart factory. So we're going to start summoning tarts. We've got somebody set up who can probably survive little normal horrors. The Amulet of Giants, the Coral Sword, the main Gauche of Parrying, so we've got really high defense, and then a Ring of Sorcery. And we have Ritual of Returning on this guy. So we are set up pretty solid. Yeah. And then basically we'll just shuttle the little dudes we produce down here, and then we'll be good. I think that's it for this turn. We will do one more. We're going to do turn 102. And then 103, I think, is the turn that we attack. So that will be another episode. But we'll go ahead and do 102 as part of this one. And then Midguard says, I hope I'm around long enough to see the fireworks. Okay, this was another thing I didn't talk about. Golems are very special in Astral Corruption. Because they are mindless, they are immune to horrors. So, yeah. We went and empowered him in Astral, and I don't know how long the game's going to go, if it really drags out with Midguard. Which I don't really see it happening. I think it's going to be like, either he kills me or I kill him. But if it does, then I'm going to have this Astral dude who can cast Astral stuff with Astral Corruption up. But I can also use him to do a bunch of other things, like forge all my Astral gear, potentially cast Divine Name, all sorts of things. And I don't even have... This guy, you don't even have to give him... I cast Ritual of Returning on him because I wasn't thinking about it. But he doesn't even need... And you can see I geared him up like he's going to get attacked by a horror. He can't get attacked by a horror. I don't think I fully knew that at the time. I might have kind of known it. The other thing I did... Okay. I don't think I mentioned this last turn. I condensed all my guys on Midguard's cap. And I did something a little sneaky because I also snuck in a ton... Oh, we cast Tartarian Gate. So we already got one. When you have this many guys in your garrison, it's actually really tricky to get your Tartarian out. I can't actually remember how I selected them out of all of this mess, because they weren't visible. There was some trick I had to come up with. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, we got this one. She's not feeble-minded, which is great. So, a lot of times, you know, for tarts, it's a two-step process. You have to make them a commander. Some of them do start as commanders. It's like a pretty small percent. But once they're commanders, then you have to make sure they're not feeble-minded, since many of them are. This one's not, so all we have to do is just make him a commander. So we're going to go ahead and shuttle him down here. Unfortunately, he can... Is this the guy? Yeah, it is. So he's going to move here, and then probably here, and then here. We cast Summon Tree Lord, so we've got this guy. Black Branch, Dying Tree Lord, and he's Nature 5, put a Ring of Returning on him, he can start doing all sorts of things. First thing he's going to do is just Sight Search here, because it's a forest, and I haven't Sight Searched it, because I'm good at this game. And, yeah, that's going to be the first thing he does. And, we've got our Wraith Lord here casting Revive Grand Lemur. And he can do it and die, and it's not even a big deal. Okay, bunch of battles here. Okay, an adventurer dies. I think we're just getting rid of him. Okay, we got a battle here versus Ryla. And if you recall, I was moving out kind of like a little task force to deal with him. And I don't know if those kind of look like mercs, maybe. But I've got a pretty solid army. I think I'm casting Army of Gold and some other things here. Yeah, I've got 20 protection. We should not have too much trouble here, though this may be a fire-empowered Lich. Yeah, so we're going to have Phoenix Pyre and stuff. That'll be annoying. But I think I also had an Enslaved Mind script up here, so it's totally possible, too, that we convert one of these guys. Okay, we kill him, but he pops up again over here. But I think he may be in range of Command Undead, no? Okay, so they're dead. Let's see. We may have actually gotten one of them. It does not appear we converted any, so that's unfortunate. But we definitely had a pretty solid chance of converting one of their liches and thereby permanently killing it. And if you permanently kill an empowered immortal, that's no small thing. Hard to do and very nice when you do it. Cracklands, we got a battle. Okay, this is the last hurrah for Utgard's northern army. It's probably like all his mages. But I think we are equipped here to deal with it. I don't know if I'm going to mass flight or not. So we've got Rigor Mortis and Relief, so they kind of cancel each other out. I don't see any protection spells coming out on my side, which is kind of puzzling, since I probably should be doing it. I think I've been somewhat lazy with scripting. Are we going to lose this? It looks like we may lose this. Kick up the game speed here. Okay, I think his lines are starting to break a little faster than mine. He does have a very strong communion, though. Oh, no, mine break. This battle probably could have gone either way. See, all his mages are asleep now from Rigor Mortis. I may actually end up winning this. There's my mage here. Okay, here are my mages. Now this guy, he's the one who's casting Gift of Heavens, which is this huge meteor you see coming down from the sky. And he's casting it at close range, so it's somewhat accurate. And then spamming out Terror. Now, it would be very dangerous for these mages to be in close combat range. But these guys are all fatigued out, so it's not really that dangerous. Cloud of Death coming out, kind of cool. That's the extra little powdery thing you see. Disintegrate, that's a one-hit kill. Bolt of Unlife, armor negating damage, I think. Maybe not, I can't remember. Disintegrate. Yeah, so we are making our way through these guys. Okay, there's Drain Life. And it looks like we actually win, so kind of crazy. A lot of this is thanks to the fact that Immortals do not typically route with their army, which there was some kind of complaining about it in Discord, and I think that's actually kind of a reasonable complaint. Immortals are already strong enough. I don't really know if you need to make them stronger where they don't route. Because if we end up looking at it... Which one was it? Okay, it was this one. We defeat Midguard, right? But at great cost. Most of our chaff is dead. We recruit a few units, which is nice. But nothing of particular importance. And we do kill their whole mage corps, for the most part. So we get some nice items as well. So that was pretty damn important. I don't know if we have enough to kind of make it through the fort, though we'll see. We also have a big battle in Utgard, because I moved in a ton of troops with a pretty big mage army. And he has a lot of dudes here too, so it seems he might have expected it. But not a ton of mages. And I hadn't really been attacking his capital with big armies, so it was probably not super expected. But this is a pretty committed attack for me. I mean, this is about as big of an army as I do. We've got Rigor Mortis coming up. Wailing Winds, maybe? No, not yet. Let's see what buffs we have on these guys. No protection buff. Okay, don't know what I'm doing here. Do we have anti-magic up at least? Okay, we do have anti-magic, it looks like. Go ahead and pick up the game speed. Yeah, not a ton of battlefield buffs. I really did do a great job this game getting buffs on, like, big battlefield buffs on all of my important battles. The one I really needed more of, and I think I would have had to have, like, leveraged communions and things like that, is Mass Flight. Mass Flight is really good against communions. Okay, we convert some of these guys. Very nice. So that was this battle in Utgard, and we killed a ton of his stuff. A couple of our Grand Lemurs died. We had many more, though. Yeah, basically all his stuff died. Seth Kona's died. And what's important about that was not only were we attacking, but we were moving in both of our Bane Venom Charm dudes. So these will knock out a fair amount of population here. And we're just going to sit here kind of on top of it with a few guys. But I'm not expecting him to kind of come out and attack this turn, especially since we haven't broken the fort. So I'll do the old trick of moving off of it and going to break through another fort, and then I'll probably move back onto it the next turn or something like that. It'll depend. But I'll leave a couple guys sieging, and then I'll just be Bane Venom Charming, and he'll probably want to break out with whatever is left inside, and then I'll come back and attack it. So that is kind of the plan for this. It's actually a really good trick, because they have to attack with something. And this is, you're basically guaranteed to clear a little bit more inside of the fort out if you do that. But hopefully we'll be able to break through this next turn. Did we have any other battles? We did. Okay, we had a battle in the Fortress of Cracklands. That was here. So we hit that big battle on the outside, which we watched. And then on the inside, I just had a couple mages left. And they're going to do the same thing basically before. They're going to cast spells and then go kill these guys reasonably efficiently, like that. So you can see we take it. All of the guys who retreated from that battle are now kind of outside, rather than retreating back to some different province. So that's kind of nice, because we did take the fort. We do have the ability to recruit Crystal Mages, but we don't really have the income, though I might get one or two. I'm really more interested in getting temples up and getting my dominion spread than getting a few more mages. So there's that. And then we took this fort, which is Questria, which is this one. So we're very well set up. And we're, as you see, we have attack orders going into Midgard because we are getting ready for Midgard to attack us. As next turn will be 103, that means the attack orders will come in. We also have a bunch of dudes here. I really want to take this before Midgard attacks me, and I don't think he's going to be able to get here with Storm Demons before I crack it, but we're sending in a few extra troops just to make sure we can break through it quickly. While we're building a temple here, and I already have some of my dominion, we're going to be moving these guys in here. I want to get one more fort before this war with Midgard really kicks off. And then all the dudes here are going to be moving here, though it's probably going to be sometime before I can claim Man. yeah, coming in here to this fort is about to be broken, so we're going to storm it. This is my mass flight army, so maybe we finally get to see it. I think I've been talking about it a lot, but we haven't really had many flying ghosts. But anyway, with that, we will go ahead and issue our attack orders. We're basically doing a bunch of low commitment raiding, right? This is low commitment raiding. You know, these guys are in a skirmish formation. They're just going to kind of fire their weapons. Low commitment raiding here. Low commitment raiding here. Low commitment raiding here. Basically low commitment raiding everywhere. Here. Here. Basically almost everywhere. We won this battle here, kind of, sort of, against Ryla, though most of our troops died, or many of them did. But we're going to kind of carry forward and push what little troops we have. Sorry, Jan. Down here into Ryla, kind of clear off another set of chaff. These guys in here, we're going to move them here, kind of clear this out. Our Dominion's kind of starting to get pretty high here. We're going to break siege with a few of these guys. I'm really doing very low commitment stuff on this side. Break siege here. But yeah, I need to plan on claiming this turn sometime soon. Now that I killed this army, that actually may have been the better move, to like move off of it in this direction. But we'll see. I do need to kind of make immediate plans to go take that. But anyway, that's basically it. We are, yeah, we're going to attack Midguard, since next turn will be 103. Turn with attacks. And, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if his Storm Demons kind of like one-hit kill me. Importantly here, I'll actually run through this real quick before I end. These are all the people who are patrolling. I'll just show you these guys. This guy is going to be doing Unholy Blessing, Unholy Protection and stuff onto Itimu, so that Itimu doesn't have to waste turns casting it. He's also got a few guys here, which are basically just going to be like a chaff screen, while Itimu buffs up. What's nice about these guys is because they have very little HP, they're not going to cause an HP rout. This guy is going to be casting Enlarge and Gift of the Hair, which is going to make Itimu very, very fast. And Big, which will give him more HP. And then this guy the same, he's just going to be making sure we get Unholy Power, Unholy Blessing, and Unholy Protection on Itimu. This guy actually, if he attacks me with the whole swarm, then this guy's going to be very useful for casting Wind of Death. If he attacks me with just a few, it's kind of going to be wasted, and Itimu will take care of it. But if it's like a big army with all of his mages, those mages will kill Itimu. So, if he attacks me with all of the mages, then I might as well get a few Winds of Death off before I bail. Now that said, you can counter Winds of Death. If you do Mass Regeneration, you'll counter a lot of the effects of Wind of Death. It'll prevent many, many, many of your dudes from dying. The other thing is, since he is now going to be attacking me, I'm going to try to get my Tartarian dude out of here. So we're going to send him over here. Now, eventually, I probably need him and my tree dude in my capital. So once they get hit by Horrors once and they get the Ring of Returning, they'll both be in my capital. But for now, we're going to co-locate them here. And that way the tarts we summon can get there at the same time. I thought I had a tart. I guess I hadn't moved him out yet. Anyway, he's moving down here. But I think that's it. Am I getting... I don't know if I'm doing it now. I need to start doing it. Okay. No, I'm still not really building any other air stuff. Maybe I'm doing it with one of my Grand Lemurs. I don't see it. I need more copper plates. That's basically what it is. So anyway, I think that's it. Next episode, tune in. The War with Midgard starts.